Ooh, sweet, sweet lava. Nice and orange, nice and yellow. Oh, hello there. Welcome back to All the Mods 10. This is episode 6. I'm your host, Parabolic, and let's get started. So, one thing, if you notice, my level bar is quite lower than probably what it was the last time we were together. Oh, well, okay, that was just a little bit of lag going on. We ain't gonna talk about that. Yeah, and if you assumed that I died twice, you'd be correct. Um, Dying is not something that I do often in Minecraft, but it occasionally happens. And these two times were one of those situations where it was some nonsense. So, um, if you remember, I had a enchantment on this sword that was called um oh Lord, hold on, I done forgot what it was called. What can I enchant? I want it to pop up. I don't even remember. I need the little GUI to pop up. Let's see. This. Plaguebringer. This. So, chance to apply bad effects. And what I believe was either annoying about it or messed up is I'm assuming if you hit something with it, for example, and you don't kill it, right? And it hits you back. It's the same principle as, like, say there's a zombie on fire right here, right? And he hits me, then I become on fire. So the sword would then give a mob a negative effect, and then it would hit me, and then I would get it. And it's very annoying because sometimes those effects would be like, I think, like lightning strikes. And so basically, the moral of the story is I went to the Nether and died twice, and not from wither. I was fighting wither skeletons. Okay, it appears I actually lost. Okay, the stuff that I was killing. Alright, well, that takes me off a little bit. Anyways, so I was killing some wither skeletons. And I only got withered, I think, once, but I had like a slew of other effects. So I come back. I was able to retrieve my stuff, but I come back and I just threw it in the grindstone. I mean, I had sharpness 3 and bandit asphopods 5. It was overpowered against spiders and stuff, but I was feeling like that that enchantment was hurting me more than it was helping me. So I just re-rolled and a couple times and finally got sharpness 4. And then this comb cutter, which I'm assuming is a bumble zone enchantment of some sorts. I don't really know what the bumble zone is. It's going to take a second for this to load. But it's appearing to, I guess it's a whole biome dedicated to bees, I guess. So, anyways, we'll go back up here. Oh yeah, I forgot about the whole where the gold for the piglin thing. I tend to forget that. But anyways, I've made progress since we were together last. So I have three things to show you. So the first is this little platform. I built 2 more wind generators, and I did move everything except the heat generator in here. So I made this. I ran it up. Oh, actually, I can go down. So I made like a partial second floor in here. I'll show you this real quick. So this is just the smelting system I had going. The metallurgical infuser, the hydrogen for my jetpack, and then just the crusher and the enrichment chamber over here. because I don't have anything for them to do just yet. So, with that being said, I will show you down here. I still have not finished that window, but I'm going for like the dual staircase look. But anyways, this is how I set up the water for the electrolytic separator. I made an energy cube just where it can store some energy, and wow, I forget that like the basic one stores 1.6 million Fe, which in all reality is not a lot. But down here is where I was thinking to do like my mechanism multi-blocks, AET. Like this would be like the actual kind of like heart of the base. Because to get full fusion power, like way on down the road, I'm going to need, let me count real quick in my head. I'm going to need 2 thermal evaporation plants, because you need one that's making water into brine, and then you need the brine sent to another thermal evaporation plant to make lithium, and then the lithium gets turned into tritium. And really, I just need a ton of coal and a ton of iron, because I'm going to need a metric load of steel. So really, the thing is coal. But the way I can get around trying to source an unhealthy amount of coal is to also, one thing is, we'll actually do this instead. I'll just use these stripped logs for the time being. I need to go get more wood. But anyways, well, set up a charcoal farm. For the point I was making, and it's funny how it works to me, is that charcoal in Mekanism is more carbon than coal is. So, is it? Well, it's essentially this. So, like, where's it's one of these? Is it this one? Okay, so like coal makes 10 millibuckets of carbon. Charcoal makes 20. Charcoal blocks is, it's all equivalent. It doesn't help you in any way to do blocks. But enriched carbon is 80 per. So it's essentially a 1 to 8. And enriched carbon is just putting either charcoal or coal into an enrichment chamber. So we're going to take this charcoal and we're going to enrich it into enriched carbon. That's why the recipe, so I'll just wait for it to show you. So you get a better return rate if you were to use coal, but because coal is giving you 1 or like 10, and the one coal that you could enrich would give you 8, so it's a 1 to 8 instead of a 2 to 8. So 1 to 8, and this is a 1 to 4. But you can automate this, which is the reason why, essentially, is you do the extra step where you're increasing your output either way, but it's greater if you take the time to go get the coal and you get more out of it. But like I said, you can automate tree farms, smelt the wood down, enrich it into carbon, because the reason is with using charcoal is a bad example because I know the coal method. So using coal, it's 2 coal and 1 iron to make 1 steel ingot. Okay, so it takes, or in reference, we'll use charcoal for example. So it's 1 to 1. 1 charcoal makes 1 steel ingot, right? Because it takes 20 carbon. And I'll show you. Where's the steel? This one. Okay. So it takes 10 carbon to take iron dust, iron ingot, whatever you use to make enriched iron. It then takes another 10 to turn the enriched iron into steel grit, I think is what this mod pack uses. So 1 charcoal is, if you were to re-roll it, 1 charcoal gets you 1 steel. So this is a 1 to 4, right? So this is 8. So you can put in 4 iron, 1 enriched carbon, and you get 4 steel ingots. Yeah, I had to think about math there for a second. So you essentially turn 1 coal or 1 charcoal into 4 steel. So if you take, it would be, I'm trying to think. So it'd be, each one is 8. So I'm trying to think, if you were to do a stack of steel, it'd be 16 enriched carbon, if my math is correct. So I don't know if this can hold 16, but yeah. So I made the platform. I did this, and oh yeah, I meant to show you down here, this area. This is where the Nether portal is. I can't remember if I turned around, but this is the Nether portal. I might do a little bit of exploring. I haven't really made my mind up, but and then the last thing is how we're going to connect the house to the underground portion of the workshop. Was I spent a little time, and I made this cool little door down here, just because my thing when I was a kid was redstone. So you hit this button, and you run back, and you run down here, and this will be the tunnel. I'll connect it at some point, and decorate it and everything, and then return. You just hit the button again. So, and I really love this room. It's awesome. So, I guess it probably, the idea for this video is probably getting into mystical agriculture, because the one downfall, or the one pitfall that I had in ATM9 was I didn't, for lack of a better term, abuse mystical agriculture as much as I could have. And what I mean by abuse mystical agriculture is mystical agriculture is, to me, one of the best mods ever made. And this is a prime example, especially when you have the ability to have seeds for everything, because you can make seeds for literally any item you need. So wood, dirt, ice, deep slate, air, and then your elemental ones, then nether, nature, honey, so on and so forth. And then you kind of have like Grains of Infinity stuff for Ender IO, silicon for AE2. You can generate animal products with this stuff, mob drops, oops, not that. And then all of your basic, your materials. Iron, copper, nether quartz, redstone. So like iron seeds, for example, is just infusing tertium with iron and prosperity seeds. So then you take the iron seeds, and please, dear Lord, tell me we have botany pods. This may be an issue. Oh my god, okay, well, we're not going to... Okay, we may not be able to abuse mystical agriculture in the way that I thought we would. So what... How can I grow them? Now I don't really know what to do, if I'm being completely honest, because okay, they might have nerfed this way more than I thought. Because now there's not botany pots. So I honestly don't... Harvester. Okay, so I might have to end up using this instead. By 3. Fuel usage. Excuse me. So, is it... I don't really know, like... Yes, I'm really trying to think now. Because my whole process was the way, like I said, that I abused it in 9 was using botany pots, hopper botany pots in functional storage, and then just running A2, what are they called? Interfaces to them, or import buses. So it doesn't appear like there's create in here, so that's going to make this a little tricky. Because industrial foregoing has harvesters. I know it's, yeah, like the gatherers and the sowers. Okay, I've actually kind of, I've duped myself a little bit on that. We may not get into that just yet because I don't really know. Well, I guess that would be the best. Hold on. I forget how do you make the book? Pity machine frame. I always forget it sucks because you had to use a redstone block. Do I have logs? Use this redstone block, and then, what was it, 4 iron, I believe? Oh, I already have it with me. There we go. This. Chop trees, harvest trees. Sludge. So it appears that I'm going to have to do industrial foregoing. Sludge refiner, because that's going to be a ether gas. I haven't heard of that. Sludge refiner. Okay, so I can make something with. Okay, cool. So that's how. No, ether gas. Never mind. That's like late game stuff. Okay. So I'm gonna have to get into that. And this is another book that I can't do anything with. Awesome. Okay. Oh, I put it in here. I forgot about that. Put these in here for the time being as well. Alright. I guess mystical agriculture then, because I need to at least start getting getting seeds. So I need this. This is all red wool. And I need 8 of those, so it's good for the gold. did I put those shears? This is my favorite part. And I know I can make a refined storage setup, but I am choosing not to because I am stubborn. Oh, for the love of God. Where are they at? Oh, look. I found some shears. Okay, I don't really remember where those sheep were. Oh, they were over here towards that village. Alright, I will be right back with you once I find some sheep. I have spotted sheep. Okay, 2, 3, come on, y'all gotta give me some better drop rates than this. That's what I'm talking about. See, look at him. He gave me 3. Is that another one right there? Looks like it. Maybe not. Mushroom base, awesome. There's another one right here. Because I believe it's 8 pedestals and then the center, the altar. So it's 9. I need total. Oh, yes. Here we go. Okay, 16. That should be enough. Right? Okay, yeah. Now, roses. Or poppies. Whatever. Like I said, I don't really know the best place to look for them. Did any of this? No. Ow. It said beetroots, but I'm assuming all of this is going to be farmer's delight. Alright, I'll be back. Oh, wait. We found a rose. Okay. Like 8 more to go. And I'll be back once I've gathered the other 8. Okay. I found this little bit of, a little spot where I found some poppies. Go back. Get some of that smooth stone. I have some gold, but that won't make all of it. It's 3. Yeah. Let me see if I have any in. Huh, I have 2. Okay. 6. We're almost there. Alright, I'm gonna, I guess I'll make another pickaxe that I'll enchant later. Hopefully try to get like fortune or something. So I'll go gather some gold. I'll be right back. Alright folks, we're back and I made a decent haul. Nothing wrong with what all we got. So in total we got over a stack of diamonds. I actually found like a really good like one of the little I think supplementaries that adds it, the little like mining camps. I found one with some like gold blocks in it. It was not a block I got. I thought it was copper. May not have been. about, let's see, 5.5 stacks of redstone, stack and some change of lapis. So we will, let's see, condense these into blocks. Okay, throw. Okay. Oh wait, I need those. Okay. So what I want to see real quick is, before I do this, let's see. So I want, let's see. So it would be gold dust. I believe I can crush that. Okay, no, it's enriching would be the first. Dirty gold dust. Yeah, I probably could make that. I just don't know if it's worth it. So that's 1-to-1. Say that's 1-to-1. 1-to-1, 1-to-1. It's 1-to-2. Because if we went a step further, that's injection. That's hydrogen chloride. So would it even be worth making the injection chamber? I don't think, or the purification chamber, I mean. Because, well, maybe so, because this is 3 to 4. So say you put 6 in, you get 8. I'm trying to think which would be better, because you get 1 each time, each process. So if you put 30 in, you would get 40 out of this method, but you would get 60 if you went extra steps. The purification chamber, yeah, because this is where it's coming from. So purification to a crusher to enrichment to, okay. So crusher to enrichment to a smelter, and then, okay, so we'll make a purification chamber real quick. So I need another. I don't think I have any steel currently. let's go get 20 redstone. These. Do I have any? I have one steel ingot. That ain't really gonna help. This glass, and I'm gonna need some osmium. Oh, yeah, and I'm gonna need okay. Excuse me. All right, so let me do some processing real quick, and I will get this purification chamber set up. Okay, folks, this is the setup that I have come up with. So I'm leaving this like little alternate input here, where like if I need, you know, put a bunch of stone in or something, like get a bunch of stuff smelted that would not be ores. I'm just leaving that there for the time being. So I made another tank where I can store, like, have a buffer of oxygen, and I set these both to dumping excess, where now it's like a seesaw, but it won't ever, one won't interfere with the other. So say for example how this hydrogen tank is full, well, it is before I stuck it in there. Just because the hydrogen's full doesn't mean it'll stop making oxygen, and vice versa. If this oxygen line's full, it won't stop making hydrogen, and if both lines are full, then it stops. But it won't affect either or. So, we'll throw the gold in here. Now, the issue that I will probably face right now is whether or not this thing has enough power to run everything. I'm just going to set all of these like that. I think everything was moving fine either way, but, you know, wouldn't hurt. So with everything running, how are we looking? It's got to be 3 turbines with a buffer, though. I would assume to see it draw. Yes. There it is. Okay, yeah. They're not able to. Maybe so. I don't really. Oh, come on. I'm not entirely certain if it's sustainable. It might be. Like I said, I don't really know. But anyways, this is like kind of what the quest book determines as like a tier 2, as you see here. So this is a tier 2. So the thing that really decides the difference in like how the tiering works is how many, the best way I can explain this is how many times you have to inject a chemical into the system. So this, I think you can crush, yeah, you can, I'm pretty sure you can just crush the raw ore into dust and enrich it. Well, actually I think it might go, so we'll just consider this a tier 1, right? There's no chemicals, it's literally just you throw it in, it gets refined, and then smelted, okay? So now if you move on from a tier 1 to a tier 2, now you have to introduce oxygen into the mix. And it looks like it's slowly increasing, or staying fairly balanced. So Tier 2, you introduce one chemical. You introduce oxygen. It's straightforward. You get it from an electrolytic separator. There's no large changes you have to make. Now going to a Tier 3, that's a different animal. So for Tier 3, with purification chamber before, or the step before that would be a chemical injection chamber. I couldn't think of what it was. So for a chemical injection chamber, you have to make hydrogen chloride. So I believe I kind of went on this little like rant in an earlier episode about hydrogen chloride. So Tier 2, right? Tier 3 is where they just kind of like throw you off the rocker. So for hydrogen chloride, you use this here. Use hydrogen. Hydrogen is straightforward. Okay. Now the fun part is making the chlorine. That's not so straightforward. So to make chlorine, you have to, I guess I'll use JEI to help. You use the thermal evaporation plant, like I was talking about here. Okay. So the thermal evaporation plant uses water to make brine. This is what I was talking about, brine to lithium. This is for fusion power. But anyways, these are the only two recipes, and they're vital for either one. So you take the brine, okay, and then you put it into an electrolytic separator. You then take the brine and the sodium and the chlorine. Sodium, you can use, so the thing about sodium is I think it's a little more effective to use sodium than water in a fission reactor, which will be the first large power generation system that we set up. But it's difficult to try to understand. Like, I don't have a full grasp on if sodium's better or not. I think it is, but you have to do the whole circulation system with superheated sodium and this and that. But I just choose to use water. It's a lot easier when you can just hook a sink up to it and it's fully buffered. But anyways, now you get chlorine. Okay, this is straightforward. But then you have to get a chemical infuser to mix the chlorine and the hydrogen to hydrogen chloride. And this isn't terribly difficult to make. This recipe is actually easier to make than I remember. I, for some reason, remember this being more difficult to make. But anyways, so then you have hydrogen chloride, and you pump that into your chemical injection chamber, and then that is what they have listed here. This, a 3 to 8 Tier 3. And see, this is the thermal evaporation plant, chemical infuser, and for the way the thermal evaporation plant works is we are in a swamp, okay? It's not a very hot biome. You could say it is a humid biome, a rainy biome. It's not hot. And we're not in a desert. We're not near a desert. Hold on, I see a pillager on the map. I don't really know. This is over the hill. Anyways, so you don't get a ton of production unless it's like daytime, and you don't really get even much then. There's two ways to then heat up a thermal evaporation plant. Well, three. Two excluding the desert method, because the desert method is the best way to do it if for some reason you need to make an insane amount of brine or liquid lithium. You use either solar panels. You can use the basic ones, but the advanced ones, it's worth it. And you put them on the corners. So the thermal evaporation plant is a 4x4 multi-block. You can make it, I forget what the minimum height requirement is. Yeah, so see how it includes the advanced solar panels? You don't need that. See, yeah, use advanced, because then it's saying go up a little higher, which I don't know why. Oh, yeah, because you need the other method, in which I was going to get to, and that's known as using a resistive heater, which is on here somewhere. I'm trying to remember what it looks like. It's a funky looking block. It's not a multi-block. That's a fuel wood heater. Come on. Don't, there it is. A resistive heater. and it's not too hard to make. But basically, you give power to it, and it makes heat, and you have to make thermodynamic these conductors, and it just uses copper. And you pump that. You just make a third valve for your thermal evaporation plant. So you have one input for water, an output for brine, and then an input for heat. So then you have that, and then that is pretty much like this whole little block done. And then I'm not going to explain this to you yet until we get to a tier 4. So once you get to tier 4, it's essentially a 3 to 10. It doesn't really say, but the whole point of this is to make sulfuric acid. And with that, I think there's a couple easier ways to do it, because the way that I did it was literally using a PRC, which is a pressurized reaction chamber, and just putting coal in it, and it converts it to sulfur. You use a chemical oxidizer to make the sulfur into sulfuric oxide, and then combine it with, I believe, water vapor to make sulfuric trioxide, or sulfur trioxide, and then you mix that with, what do you mix that with? Hold on. Sulfuric acid is, I forget what color it's supposed to be. I always remember it's yellow. It's one of these. There it is. Sulfur trioxide with water vapor. This is oxygen and sulfur dioxide, and then you can oxidize it from sulfur, and this is what I was talking about. Coal, or water, oxygen, and coal get you sulfur with a byproduct of hydrogen, and you would just hook that up to a tank and set this to dump access. So, but yeah, that's in the future, because by then you can start getting into this, and where you start building a fission reactor. But for the time being, I really just use wind generators. Now, another thing you can do, and it doesn't really touch on this, is but you can use a gas burner generator. You can use hydrogen, but I don't think the output increased fuel. Where they like
narrator off.
Well,
narrator,
because I have everything bound to it.
Narrator off.
Okay. But anyways, you can use well, it doesn't really say, but ethylene. And ethylene is essentially, I'll show you. It's pink one. There it is. Wait, ethene. Did they type it in wrong? Oh, ethylene. Yeah, they typed it in wrong. So yeah, it's the byproduct when you make biofuel and substrate, and this is how you get all the HPDE stuff. But okay, well, I guess never mind. I guess it's not. Okay, well, anyways, you used to be able to like grind. I would have like a melon farm, grind the melons into biofuel and use the ethene, whatever, the liquid ethene, and you could use it in a gas burning generator. But no point to really do it now, when I can just make, rows of these, and they work for the time being until I can get a full fission reactor online. Which, like I said, I'll probably put the evaporation plants down here, and probably a fission reactor, like the reactors and everything are probably going to be down here. And I might build like a room here to the side where we have just ore processing here for the time being. And then maybe AE2 stuff. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to throw up here, but all of like the fuel production for uranium fuel, like for a fission reactor, will be down here. So I'm probably going to call the episode here. I was fairly unproductive because everything that I thought I could do with mystical agriculture through botany pods was kind of pooped on. So that sucks. But we'll probably have to go down the which I don't really think. Yeah, it doesn't say anything there. So yeah, we're gonna have to go down the industrial foregoing path, which I guess I'll probably make a super flat world and just test out these two to see what exactly I need to do, because they'll accept mechanism power. But yeah, we're gonna have to start making plastic at that point to make the machines. So, but yeah, sorry for kind of having this lackluster episode. I kind of thought about exploring the Nether, but I got a little sidetracked, to be fair. So, but anyways, I'd like to thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.